He's a fox demon wanting to become immortal, but he doesn't have the spirit power. His master told him there's only one way. He has to sacrifice a human boy. But the boy really once saved his life, and he's been taking care of him ever since. Yet fate brought them together. And this is his trial in the mortal world. He's out with his dad and brother looking for the fire. His brother tells him to stay put. But this boy's been in a wheelchair since he was little. He's always been gossiped about, always getting pitying looks from everyone. Even his teacher suggested he trans. Of course, his brother Ruji has always taken care of the boy, even promised to carry him for life. But now Ruli's at the edge of a cliff, about to say goodbye to this world. Suddenly a fox bursts through the barrier, flying straight toward the cliff. In that critical moment, Ruli unbuckles his wheelchair strap and reaches out to grab the fox about to fall. Thanks to Ruli risking his life, the fox is finally pulled back up. Looking at the human who just saved him, the fox eagerly introduces himself, snuggles into Ruli's arms for a cuddle. Li's legs have already healed, and he can walk. That near accident brought him a miracle, but with it came some trouble. Animals go crazy whenever they see him. Luckily, the butler helps chase away the crows, and because animals freak out around him. Firefox's dad sent from far away, as a birthday gift for his brother. He can't even get close enough to see it, but earlier today he heard the Firefox's voice. That warm yet sad feeling. Ruli wraps himself in a thick coat, planning to sneak out at night. He gets to his brother's lab where the animals are kept. Inside it's barking and hollering. Ruli gathers his courage to find the little fox. The moment he sees the little fox, a strange sense of warmth fills his heart. While the little fox is sleeping, the boy gently touches its nose. The soft, tingly feeling makes him happy. And then the little fox opens its eyes. The boy thinks it's going to attack, so he shields himself with his arm. Turns out the fox is just warding off the vicious dog behind it. With just one look from the fox, the dog drops to the ground, whimpering non-stop. Seeing this, the boy's completely stunned. Does this little guy have magic or something? Seeing the fox covered in wounds, the boy's really worried. So he sneaks it back to his room. The little fox lies quietly in his arms. For the boy who's never been able to get close to Anne, this wound is something he's never fought. And so he falls asleep holding the fox. In the middle of the night, the fox heals the wounds from the crow attack. And when the fox opens its eyes again, it's transformed into a beast. The boy's still asleep. When he opens his eyes and sees the lid into a person, he's totally shocked. In his panic, he kicks the naked fox right off the bed. Late at night, the boy fell asleep hugging a fox, but woke up to find himself in a beast-eared person's safe. In his panic, he kicks him to the floor, thinking he's run into some pervert. Then the completely naked fox slowly gets up and barks at Ruli a couple times. Ruli slowly calms down, remembering he went to sleep with the little fox last night. And how did he wake up to this beast-eared idiot? Then the boy realizes this beast-eared person is the little fox transformed. He asks what his name is. The fox doesn't answer, just keeps rumbling with hunger. The boy wraps him in clothes and goes to find food. Here like a good boy. But the little fox has disappeared. He runs to the balcony to find this guy's locked eyes with his husky, looking all fierce, not caring at all that he's completely naked. Ruli quickly grabs a coat to cover him, but the husky is staring hard at Ruli, yet with the fox beside him now. The husky has no intention of attacking him. It's been a long time since this happened. Ruli happily says the fox is basically his savior. Then he fears his brother's coming back. Ruli hurries to hide him, and teaches the fox how to get dressed, warns him not to wander off again. But the moment Ruli leaves the room, the fox curls up in a ball from the unfamiliar surroundings. Suddenly the fox starts going. His wounded body collapses to the floor. Then he transforms back into a fox. Meanwhile, Ruli warmly welcomes his brother home. Look how much my Ruli has grown. He asks if the boy got the package dad sent. His brother's just back to grab some files. The files are in the study where he hid the fox, thinking he can't let his brother find the fox. While he's on the phone, the boy rushes back to the room to find the little fox. Halfway there, he hears screaming from inside. The moment he pushes the door open, what he sees completely stuns him. The wounded fox's eyes are glowing red, and he's got the maid pinned under his claws. He should probably run right now. But seeing the maid under those claws, he steps forward and asks if the fox remembers the one who slept with you last night. Before he can finish, the fox grabs him hard and lifts him in the air. He gently touches the fox's neck. Little fox, cuddle with me. Remember me quick. Then the fox throws him to the ground, raises his claw, about to strike the boy hard. Suddenly the spirit pearl lights up, sings the scent song, leans in to smell the boy's scent. The next second the fox transforms back into human form. Seeing the boy he hurt during his rampage, the fox falls into deep thought and collapses unconscious beside the boy. The fox's sudden rampage injured them. Seeing the boy lying unconscious, the fox feels both guilty and anguish, then collapses, curled up beside the boy. In his dream, the fox before him feels so familiar. As a tear slides down the boy's cheek, Ruli suddenly wakes up in bed, seeing his brother watching over him. He urgently asks how the maid is the one pinned under the fox's claw. His brother's obviously confused, worried he had a nightmare. Because what his brother saw earlier was him sound asleep on the hugging the fox, and mumbling Bai Ye's name the whole time. The boy remembers he was definitely injured, but now all his wounds are completely healed. He asks his brother where the little fox was. His brother's expression turns serious, because animals around Ruli are dangerous, even though the boy promises it won't happen again. Of course it can't happen again, because he's already arranged with the driver to take the fox to a professional hospital, and told him to give up any idea of keeping the fox. Hearing this, the boy drops his head sad, but his brother's also poorly. Why is he so attached to this fox? Meanwhile, the driver's taking the fox to the hospital, wondering why there's no people or cars around. Suddenly, a white fox blocks his way. The white fox simply says, "Sleep here," and the driver passes out. Then the white fox blocking the car slowly transforms into human. This white fox is the fox's man. He holds the little fox, checking what he's been through these past days. The fox escaped from the wolf cry hunting him, and met the boy who could help him become immortal, but hurt the boy during a rampage. Then the white fox gently touches the fox's forehead, hoping he can communicate better with humans. Then controls the driver to return to the boy's house. The driver sees the little foxes, and immediately turns around to hide back. Back home, Rui's still worried about the fox, whether it'll go berserk and hurt people at the hospital. He didn't even get to say goodbye. But then he suddenly hears the driver brought the fox back. The boy's face lights up with his usual smile again. Since the fox was brought back, his brother steps forward to check the fox's injuries. He needs to confirm the fox is healthy before he'll consider letting Ruli keep. Just as he picks up the fox to examine, Ruli brings the files his brother needs to the room. The fox sees it's the person he's looking for and immediately leaps toward the boy. His brother's worried the fox will hurt him, but the fox just snuggles into the boy's arms for a cuddle. No sign of wanting to hurt him. The boy takes his chance to beg his brother to let him keep. His brother's stunned by this scene and agrees to his role. But seeing how affectionate the fox is with the boy, he remembers when Ruli had his accident. A fox appeared back then too, constantly licking Ruli's cheek. Looking at the unconscious boy in the hospital bed, the fox his brother wonders if it's the same fox from back then, but quickly dismisses that idea. And Ruli, who gets to keep the fox, can't stop smiling, already planning in his head to dress him in flowery skirts. Imagining having a 5'9" fox girlfriend, he's just thrilled inside. From now on, he'll call the fox Baiye, meaning white night sky. Later, as the evening comes, his brother's busy with school stuff, says goodbye to the boy late at night and leaves. Then the boy returns to his room. The moment he calls out Baiye's name, what he sees makes him freeze, because the little fox has turned back into a completely naked human, staring out the window with macaulay eye. Seeing the boy's return, the fox actually speaks. You're finally back. I've been waiting for you. The boy adopted a male fox, but fantasized about having a fox girlfriend from now on. But what he didn't expect is the human form fox just wants to cuddle with him. Right now, the completely naked fox is speaking fluent human language. Only remembers the boy was the first thing he saw when he walked, and gestures for the boy to come closer. Though Ruli doesn't get why the fox can talk now. The fox's words make Ruli unconsciously move closer to him. The fox asks with concern if it still hurt the boy during his rampage. The already healed boy says it doesn't hurt at all. His healing power is actually pretty strong. Before he can finish, the fox pulls him over and starts his licking the wound healing method on him. Thinking the fox must think he's an animal, the boy decides to teach him lots of human habits. First, he tells him touching lips to someone's skin is only okay between very close people. The fox asks if they count as close, right? And immediately pounces on the boy for cuddling. The boy's just helpless with this eager fox. He tells the fox he gave him a name. Baiye, does he like it? Being new to human form, the fox doesn't understand what. He can only flash that criminally charming smile, and Ruli's only thinking about finding him clothes. The fox in clothes feels really uncomfortable, but the boy truly feels the thrill of having a human. But then the fox pulls him into his arms again, expressing his special feelings for the boy. The boy asks why the fox suddenly lost control. The fox explains his body suddenly got hot. Then someone came in, touched his tail, and he suddenly went berserk. The boy thinks if it's because of the tail, might as well test it himself. But after touching it, nothing seems to happen. Just thinking maybe it's not the tail. But suddenly the fox pins him down, staring at Ruli. Ruli's totally panicked, suspecting this guy's tail is probably the switch for that kind of thing. The fox keeps getting closer, using his tail to touch the boy's skin. The boy just feels itchy all over and can't breathe, thinking he's got to make him stop. But suddenly the fox stops responding, curls up in Ruli's arms and falls fast asleep. Then the exhausted Ruli also collapses on the bed. He can't figure out this fox who just took his first kiss. Why does touching his tail make others go berserk? But when he touches it, it's a different reaction. Suddenly the fox wakes from a night. Seeing the still sleeping boy, he wants to get closer, but discovers he's been tied up completely. The next day, the moment the boy wakes, he sees the fox lying by the bed staring at him. Seeing he's hungry, he takes him to find food, but just can't take him out of the room. So he has the fox watch TV to pass the time. Then brings breakfast and asks if he likes, if there's anything special he wants to eat. The fox says he wants to eat mice, birds, and rabbits. But for now, Ruli can only share bread with him. After eating, he sees the husky playing in the yard. The boy says animals don't like getting near him. Baiye really likes cuddling with you. The boy can't help but laugh till he cries, says she's basically his savior. But the fox eagerly wants to cuddle with the boy again. The boy immediately stops since he can't mess around in human form. The fox seems to understand, instantly transforms back into a little fox, and has a very satisfying cuddle with the boy. Wang is a fire fox all the wolf demons want to eat. Long is a gentle, introverted human boy. They should have never crossed paths, but because of a spirit pull they're now connected. The boy adopted the fox he once saved, and the fox gradually shielded the boy as their relationship grows closer. Today's the first time Ruli's taken the fox out. His brother, worried about Ruli getting attacked by animals, after finding out, does an object like he usually would, but lets him go on his little adventure. Turns out when the boy was very young, he couldn't walk. Afraid of worrying his family, he always wore a smile. His brother knew he was forcing that smile, and prayed earnestly, wishing he could give his brother the ability to walk. Later, a miracle happened and the boy could walk again, while his brother was still moved to tears. Various misfortunes started hitting the boy one after another, because animals go berserk around the boy. The school suggested he transfer. Even so, when facing his brother's concern, the boy always responded with hope. But the boy really has suffered too much on fact. Can't go to school like other kids and has no friends. Even mocked as the chosen one with an animal-repelling constitution. Since then, the boy's kept himself shut in at home, until the fox came into his life. Doors are locked. Heart slowly